Hello, friends. Hello, and welcome to this show. Welcome, welcome. We are going to talk about today Twin Flames, the first quarter gates for reunion and union, the opportunity gates, and a deep dive through pick a card reading about what you can do, how you can harness this energy, what it means to you, can you do during the opportunity gates, what can you do in between the gates. And before we get started here, I want to welcome you all in. Welcome, welcome. Whether you're new, whether you've been here for a while, thank you for joining me on this interesting journey. I want to wrap us all in love light and light love, and invite in the guides that I work with who overlight all the work that I do at TLC for the Soul and Loveland Tarot. Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, our Twin Flame guides, Archangel Chamuel, Twin Flame, all the Twin Flame guides I have mated pairs of Twin Flame dragons, wolves, dolphins. Many Twin Flame guides have come to me very early on. Actually, it came to me early on in my journey before I even knew I was on a Twin Flame journey. So quite interesting and fun. So the way I want to do this today is, first of all, let's get us settled. Let's get us all in relaxing, sacred space. Cozy up, get yourself and maybe your little notebook or journal, or whip out the notepad on your phone. We're going to be giving you some dates. We're going to be giving you some things that you might want to take note of that you can come back to later. And we're going to do this I'm going to give some collective messages first. I'm going to do a little pick a card, and then I've got an extended pick a card that I will run, an extended reading off the pick a cards that I will run, and I'll have available. I'll run it. What does that mean? I'll run it. I'll have that available over on my Patreon. So I do have a Patreon. It's brand new for this year. We've got me and one other person in there right now in the Inner Sanctum. There's 20 spots available if you want to deep dive with me and have a little bit more kind of support on your journey. But I will also just be offering this extended reading, pick a card reading, as a standalone video that you can purchase if you don't feel like you want to make that commitment, that monthly commitment to the Inner Sanctum just yet. So I will put the links to all of this good stuff. Always the links to everything I talk about are in the notes of this show. So before we go, well, I guess go into it. I'm going to share with you why we are in an opportunity gate right now. And in a minute, I'm going to give you the dates for first quarter 2024, what those are. But what these opportunity gates are is the best time. I'll have the guides kind of use my lips to say it the right way energetically. It's the best time from an energetic perspective. Planets aligning, and Earth energy supporting, other factors that they don't want to share right now. There's these other factors with like quotes around them that they don't really want to share publicly, so to speak. It's like some sort of like inner mystery school thing that I have yet to understand. But there's this window of opportunity. Apparently it's every month now. And you can feel it ebb and flow in the energies. The most likely time when you will either come out of separation with your twin, you might come into reunion, meaning you have never met them yet in this 3D lifetime, and I call that reunion. Coming out of separation to me is maybe you kind of were in reunion and then you separated for a little bit of time, be it, a day or a month or whatever. And then union, where you both make the commitment to start to manifest and build together. And I don't clarify union as a 3D marriage, so to speak, although it can be that. But I clarify that more as, I define union as more of you both make the commitment that you are now in divine service together. And I'm going to do another video, I think, that talks more about the spiritual, I call it business, but like the spiritual business of the twin flame union, the real reason why you're here, which is not just a 3D romance. That's kind of outside of what we're going to talk about here. But these are some of the things too, where we can dive deeper in the inner sanctum in my Patreon group, because we have a small group of people, and we'll be able to dive deeper into some of these questions that may be on your mind as you hear some of these topics come up. Save those questions, jot them down. You know, if you feel like you want to join us, we do typically do 2 live sessions a month, one kind of an open Q&A, and the other more of like maybe a dedicated topic and some time for y'all to like socialize with each other and just be in each other's company. And it's not just a group for twin flames. So you will find other master manifestors in this group as well. So I just want to shout that out there. Could be newer people on their journey. We have many advanced practitioners who have many sages and people who have been on this journey quite a while who can help add some sage wisdom to that inner sanctum circle group. It's not just me, like I'm not the only one, right? That's got this knowledge. Many of you out there are very intuitive and very gifted. Okay, so every day, well, almost every day, I do a daily energy update, a little short on Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube. On YouTube, it's either on this Loveland Tarot channel or it could be on my TLC for the Soul channel. It's however I'm guided to do that. But the cards that came out today were, I'm just going to come in from the left here. Have hope for the future. New energies are coming in. And it was about stars aligning. Well, the card kind of had a reference to a couple of things, but as it relates to your journey, I take that as stars aligning, planets lining up, retrogrades ending. Yeah, things moving forward. I just saw 717 on the timer, which is my little number that means things are moving forward. And then the other cards that came in around this, which is what makes me feel like, you know, this was the time to deliver this information, is the Vesica Pisces came out, which is totally about union, right? So this is about to, as a twin flame, you have deeper, like, mystery school knowledge about the twin flame journey that others do not. And so you may see additional messages about your journey that somebody who's not on the twin flame journey wouldn't see. So you might see, we've got the Vesica Pisces, and we could read that as divine feminine, birthing, fertility. But if you're a twin flame, that is all about union with your twin. And that's all about what your soul signature looks like energetically. And we've got a Twin Flames 2.0 series here on the channel, on Loveland Tarot, and on the podcast that talks about the energetic soul signature, what the energy, if you were to clairvoyantly look at your union, what it energetically looks like. It looks just like this, like you're the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the two meet in the middle. So we go all into that there. And then the other cards that came out was you're ready for more. It talks about your career is blossoming. But for those of you that are looking for union with your twin, or that's part of your dharma, like some of you, I don't want to go into that yet. I'm going to hold off on that. But once you come into union, there's a divine soul mission that is undertaken and agreed upon. More in the etheric worlds, kind of not necessarily so much 3D. You may sit down together and be like, this is our soul mission. But once you come into union, your soul mission is upgraded to that of like a twin flame soul mission. And so there's two, like you have your twin flame soul mission, and you have your own individual mission that you're running concurrently at the same time. So that card came out from my Happy Cloud deck. So I do also have decks that I design and create If you're interested in any of those, like links, again, to everything I talk about are in the notes. But when this card comes out, this is my twin flame card. It didn't start out that way. I didn't know that Forever This Love is Special is going to be a twin flame card when I created the deck. But every time it comes out, it's in relation to other cards that make me realize and see that it's a twin flame journey. And then the good old, patience card came out as well, which, it's all a journey about patience. So let me go ahead and share with you the dates of the first quarter gates and see any other cards the guides want me to add. So these messages, I'm drinking hot chocolate. It's negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit with a negative 50 Fahrenheit wind chill right now. It's under a little blizzard warning. So it's a good time to be doing creative work inside. Although I do like to go outside. I'm going to try to take a walk. I tried to take a walk with my dog earlier this morning, and the cold wind, it's not the cold so much as the cold wind makes her like very discombobulated. And so if you're into Ayurveda, she's like a Vata personality. So she had two, it couldn't have been the cold. I'm going off a tangent, but let me just we got to get to know each other here too, right? Just a little tiny bit. But she's like a very nervous oriented dog. And so I always put two coats on her when she goes out in the cold, like a thunder coat in a way. It's not a thunder coat, but I put two coats on her so that she feels warm and like a little warm hug around her body. But that just was, even the two coats were not enough this morning. She ran out and ran across the driveway and then ran back to the door. And I was like, no, you're fine. I felt fine. I know it was cold, but I had enough gear on. She had enough gear on. I felt like she was fine for 5 minutes, right? She ran out for 20 seconds. And I was like, you're not going inside yet. Get back over there and at least go to the bathroom, right? He hasn't been outside since 6 o'clock last night. And so she did. And then she ran back to the door and I was like, oh, I'm going to walk for a few seconds. So I'm going to try to take her back out to the park. If I take her to the park, she may be more willing to get out and move around for a few minutes. That's crazy. But anyway, it did give me the opportunity to come in here and sit down and do all this other stuff because we didn't take our morning hike. Anyway, so the first quarter gates. So we've downloaded these this morning. We did announce the January one a while back on the daily, so you may have caught that. But for this month, if you're watching this when this drops, the gates are January 11th through the 19th. The February gate, obviously, this one's so obvious. It's February 2nd through the 22nd. Look at all those twos, right? 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That's my activation sequence for my journeys, all the twos. And then March, they're making me be funny. Not number 2, but March 1st through the 13th. March 1st, never mind. They're saying, don't be too serious. March 1st through the 13th, because we're not supposed to be so super serious on this journey, right? Because it can feel I think if you think it's super serious, it's just going to feel like a slog to your union. And then, oh my God, you just have to take it one day at a time. All right, so January 11th to the 19th, Feb 2nd to the 22nd, and March 1st through the 13th. So let's see. So we're in that gate right now, so we can take advantage of this energy. Let's see if there's anything else the guides want to share. They want me to show these cards. They're so funny. These also came out today. So the first ones that came out together were Healing is Happening Within You, Allow. This is my handmade deck, which is an H. And then All Is Not As It Seems, Illusions Surround You, Wait, which is an A. But I take it more as what I just said, haha, don't be too serious, And you hear that all the time. They're like, this is supposed to be an adventure. You're supposed to be enjoying the journey. It's not supposed to be a slog to your union. Otherwise, I think I told my son recently, I'm like, do you really want to look? Because he's one of those that's he remembers every detail. On March 6th of 2004, I was doing something. And I'm like, what? How do you remember these dates? So I'm like, well, do you really want to look back on the last so many years of your life and just feel like, I was slogging along, just not enjoying anything at all? Like, there's got to be something. Like, I don't want to look back like that. So let's try to enjoy things. And along with those two cards came the Nine of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Spirit's promise that what you want is coming, is happening, is waiting for you on the other side of this thing. Like, the thing to me is like what's happening in between the gates. So the opportunity gates, to me, when they open up, those dates that I gave you for first quarter, and they don't want us to go beyond, you won't see me do a 2024 month by month video on any channel right now because of this total solar eclipse happening in April. They don't want us to go, well, somebody else might want to, but they don't want me to go beyond that date right now. It's the total solar eclipse, 19 degrees Aries on April 8th, because they said there's so many new life streams opening up. Yeah, big chills. Big chills is my confirmation from Spirit. If you hear me say big chills, like that's what they do to like tell me like, yes, that's right or whatever. It's like a little nudge. But there's so many new life streams coming available after that eclipse that you can't even see, and you can't see into them now because they haven't really been formed yet. They are, it's hard to explain, but it's like you've made your wish and your desire. Spirit knows what it is, but sometimes in order to align to it, you have to align to the highest timeline or the highest relational reality available to you in order to be on a certain life stream. And so sometimes when you hear like divine timing is at play in your union, and you're like, well, I'm telling like you're talking to Spirit, like, well, you told me I'm ready. You're telling me, however you guys know, like a reader told you, a healer told you, a reading told you, your guides told you, your person's ready, but yet still nothing's happened yet. So I'm very familiar with that. But when the gates open up on those dates, you can feel this influx of energy, like an energy push, which leads you to believe that your person is coming towards you. And if you get really in touch with your subtle energy bodies, I think that's going to be the key to you knowing whether your person is going to come forward during that time or not. So I think the gate could open and maybe you don't feel anything at all. And so that's where you can kind of get yourself into trouble a little bit, because you may be watching readings and they're like, that's happening right now. And I really don't do any more of those, like within the next 7 days, within the next 30 days. The guides don't give me, in June, this is going to happen. I've been tricked by that many times. Not tricked. It's not tricked. They're saying it's a lesson about patience and trust. So if you've had that happen, like you've been watching readings and they're like in June, on August, 5 months from now, 7 hours from now, and nothing happens, it's because you're on the journey of the slow boat of patience to trust in the universe. And it's bigger soul lessons being learned. It's not immediate gratification. Unions that are meant to be longer lasting and stand the test of time are the ones where a lot of the healing is being done right now. And yes, your person and you have done the work, like the past life healing and the triggers and the karmic, all that stuff's been healed already. But there's still this understanding about, I think they want more twins to start understand, yes, the inner mystery school teachings, yes, about the twin flame union and how it works energetically. Because a lot of you are advanced practitioners, and I think you're hungry for some of that inner school knowledge. And so we're going to give you a little taste of it here. And then if you want to go watch the extended, I think they're going to allow me to dive in a little bit more into what that means. And the extended's always there. You don't have to be in the inner sanctum to purchase that. And then you can have lifetime, I guess, like you need it for a lifetime, but you have unlimited access to it once you opt in to purchase the video. All right. They stopped my lips from moving. So what's the next question? Oh, so now they want me to do the pick a card. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to lay out 3 piles, and we're going to do a little pick a card, and then we'll do an extension of each pile in an extended pick a card. And if you're interested in that one, I'll post the link to that in the show notes. So let me come back to this. Hold on one second. Clear this board. All right, here's where we get to pick your pile. So we've got it lined up. So they wanted us to work with particular decks. So you're going to pick your pile based on the deck and the stone that's with that deck. So here we've got the, oh my God, here, I don't remember the name of the moat. This one, it's holographic and cute. And I got this juicy little stone that looks like a little juicy, like plump, puffy heart. Yeah. Pastel Journey Tarot. Thank you. All right. Next we have this. It's a rock from the beach. It's beautiful green. It's not very shaped. It kind of always reminds me of a little like shark or something. It has like a little like eye. And this is the Lemurian Star Child. This is not a tarot deck, but it's big enough to be. This is an oracle deck. And then we've got the Mexican Fire Opal with all of its juicy little windows. Oh, it's like a little heart right there. Whoops, no, get over here. Or a little like window in. Like a little like a diamond actually. And this is a tarot deck. This is the Modern Love Tarot. So pick your pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. We will see you for your reading. Hello, pile number 1. You chose this puffy little heart stone. Loving it. Love the color. You chose the Pastel Journey Tarot. Let's do this. I like the way that White Feather Tarot does her reading. So she starts with some oracles, and then she lays out a bunch of tarot cards. So that's pile number 1. Need to know. We talked about opportunity gates. We talked about what do you need to do during the opportunity gates, and what do you need to do in between the gates. So it's kind of where I think they're going with this. So this is my deck Pleiadian Power. Thankfully for the wireless, the sun is coming out. Come on, sun. We're in a blizzard warning right now. We're having negative 50 wind chill. Thank you for the wireless mic. I can walk around, walk over to my tarot drawer and pick up decks and just walk around and get the decks that I need. Love it. I know, like calling down the solar rays. All right, this is my deck Love Land. This is an oracle deck. This is the spring pack and the fall pack combined. Let's just see. I know, like spring and fall. Let's see, we've got there. And it's my big fairy crystal. Let's see what other, I just wanted to like enjoy this. So if it's too long, you might have to come back. I just want to like relax and have fun in this reading. I don't want to like rush through it. I don't want to I just want to enjoy this moment. Come on, son. All right. City of Dreams Oracle. Yeah, I really enjoy it when Liz at Charmed Intuition Tarot, at the beginning of every reading, she's like, let's take a deep breath together. So let's take a deep breath. And I like when she takes her time through the readings, when she doesn't rush through and kind of bring any of that anxious energy. I like when she's just like very just relaxed. And I think that's where we need to be at. Here, this is City of Dreams Oracle by Jackie Franco. Stuff with little pretty edges, just like Cherry Enchantress at Romantic Fairy. Just calling out some of my favorite little readers. Oh, they want me to... Oh, look, snow day. That's what it is today. It's like the energy of a snow day. But how does that pertain in... How does that, you know... how does that come into your reading? What do you do on a snow day, right? Don't you just like relax? And you got one more card, one more deck out for me? Okay, yeah, let's use this new deck that I got. I'm really enjoying this. It's a kind of a deck to me where you just need one card. So I'm going to use this. I want to do more of these readings too because I've been blessed with being able to order some really amazing decks, and I've got another one coming. I think you guys are really going to love it. It's so good. But this is Through the Eyes of the Soul by Cheryl Yambrook Rose. So this is about sacred sites. Oh, come on, son. I love the back of these cards. They're a very super thick cardstock though, so I don't know sometimes. All right, let's shuffle these. Do you guys like to see me shuffle? I just really, I don't do all sorts of like Las Vegas moves with my decks. There could be light language coming in. If it doesn't resonate, just, you know, leave it off to the side, but you'll know if it resonates. And it will speak to you. I am a DNA activator with my light language, so maybe that there's some sort of activation or healing that's needed when light language comes through. And I'm getting ready to set up as part of my snow day. My son's going to help me set up my Reiki studio for the camera. So because we're going to start doing Aloha Reiki over on TLC for the soul with some Huna healing. All right, so this is your 4 little cards, and then let's get out. I had to get the book. Let's get out your deck. Let's get out your pastel journey. All right, what does pile 1 need to know about their journey? You need to know about your journey. I think we're going to start there. We'll set your little beautiful hologram deck off to the side. All right, so already the first card showed itself with Snow Day, which, look at this little troll. She's got kind of like holographic hair. This is kind of like my fairy godmother troll. And I don't know, I didn't buy these. These are all, my son is like a collector of vintage stuff. So he has like vintage G.I. Joes and he has all sorts of vintage stuff, all the Doctor Who Daleks. It's crazy. So he kind of gave these to me as a little gift. So you'll see the other 2 trolls, Valentina and, I don't know, Bob needs a name. Okay, hold on. Valentina, I call him Bob. I don't know why I don't know anybody by that name, and that's not my twin's name. So on the dailies, we have Valentina. She comes out, and then, so I actually did purchase her. She's super cute. And my son just came up one day and said, I want you to have this troll. And I thought it was so cute because she had nobody. She was like this little single lady, and love bug. And then the Divine Masculine stepped in with his crazy blue hair. And so I was getting suggestions for names. Her name is Valentina, and I'm going to keep it like that because she reminds me of like a little Valentine. They're not trolls. They have a different name, but I forget what it is. He is a troll. But Bob, call him Bob. Bob needs a name that's more in line with Valentina because it just seems like, and maybe that's part of it. Maybe your union is one where, maybe I should move them over here. Because we always, on this romance board, we always have the Playmobil people, the Fairy Queen and the King. And on the other tarot table, we have I love him with his sword. We have Valentina and Bob, but for a moment I had them this morning kind of, they were like this, and there was kind of this talk about telepathy going on because they were like speaking to each other through their minds. So snow day, I think it's like just a snow day. I'm going back to this now. A snow day is like a day, right, where you just like take it easy. You can't really, I am going outside. You can go outside if you choose to. The weather may not be as severe in your snow day. I just crazy wind chills, but like somebody told me once, oh, this store in town like has all the warm gear you could want, and if you just want to be warm, you can go stock up on as much warm gear as you need, right? I have tons of gear. I've been blessed to get tons of gear to manage this weather, so I could at least go out for a few minutes walk. But getting out in nature, enjoying the day. I'm not a fan of, honestly, I'm not a fan of winter season in this particular area, although I've been working really hard with the weather guides, the weather spirits, and my local weather spirits to really come into a deeper enjoyment of a -50 wind chill and a -15 Fahrenheit day. But enjoy is not about me. I feel like in a way it is us like getting to know each other. But anyway, whatever. Just relax about your union is the first advice. I'm going to save this little Cheryl card because I want to read from the book. Oh, Star Child. I knew it was going to come out. Starseed, Twin Flames. Nova couldn't take her eyes off the stars. She felt she had been there before, but that was crazy, or was it? So just an acknowledgement. And I guess sometimes I do take the journey, I don't take it for granted, but I've been on it for quite a while, and I think I first found out I was a starseed way back in like 2014 or something. So it's not new news to me that, you guys have probably been in many star systems, and I think y'all get excited. I remember I would get excited, like, oh, you mean I spent time on Lyra? Like, wow. And now I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I've been to all these star systems, have lives or whatever, consciousness is over there. But this is an acknowledgement that you are a starseed twin flame, which means really, I would like to say, really means that you're like an old soul. This is not your first rodeo. And most likely with these higher vibe twin flame unions that's why you guys are here. You're the ones where you and your twin, I keep saying that, have done a lot of work on yourselves, and it is not your first rodeo. And most likely, if you have not met your twin yet in this lifetime, and even if you have, I think, let's say just acknowledgement that probably the last time you were together was on some really high vibe star system, or someplace like Lemuria, which was probably one of the last really high vibe civilizations before it all kind of went downhill. Before consciousness fell. Some will say Atlantis, but I don't know. I refuse to believe that about Atlantis. I have my qualms about Atlantis. Some people have a really great Atlantean lifestyle. It was high vibe, but in a different, like, techie kind of a way that didn't really speak to me because I'm more nature-based. So if you hear me have, like, some sort of bias about Atlantis, it's because I just didn't really vibe with that lifestyle, other than the oceanic part of it. All right. And then, oh, you got the card. You didn't get the spring card from the Loveland. You got the autumn card. No doubt. Corn Maze. Welcome, Loveland Autumn Festival. You may not know where you're going, but you can have fun getting there. See, it's all about that. And my energy is very relaxed, which must mean because we're emulating each other's energies, if those of you watching this, and myself. So I'm coming in with like a very relaxed kind of like, very patient, like just waiting patiently. Let's see what you got from this deck. Climb the spiral ladder one step at a time. This person has a very starseed look about them. Let's read. Oh, there's a little buggy. How am I? What's this little bug doing? I'll put that there. let's read this, and then we're going to get some tarot cards. Climb the, okay, this is number 41. Of course. Yeah, that's just what I was talking about. This is you. The shaman's celestial journey. There is no direct route to enlightenment. The cycles, here we go. I'm telling you, the cycles must be experienced and internalized one at a time. The painting of the shaman's celestial journey is set in, I probably won't, Suriname. It is about the stages of preparation a boy must go through to become a shaman of his tribe. Oh, I have a book series about that, the Shaman's Awakening series. I'm also an author. If you're new here, I write channel fiction and nonfiction. All my ebooks are free to read. The link to my Smashwords ebook publisher is in the show notes, and you can look me up, Tammy Lynn Chambers, through Google Books, Barnes & Noble, Apple Books. But I do have a Shaman's Awakening series. I have one book in there now, but it's about this very topic. Many are trained, but few pass the initiations. The purpose of this vision quest is to speak with the spirits and return with information needed for the tribe. First, a sacred space must be created. The master teacher will then appear and instruct him about the spirit world. That's kind of what we're doing now. The initiate climbs up the spiral ladder into the sky, going higher and higher as his mastery progresses. That's your journey. When his psychic ability is acute and developed enough, well, there we are. Grandfather Vulture. Oh, is that a vulture? That looks like an owl. Grandfather Vulture will act as an intermediary for the great grandfather spirit or creator. Spirals were often used in the temples of many ancient cultures as teaching tools representing the spirit world. In recent times, they have been found to be useful in going in and out of lucid dreams. Okay. So this makes sense to me this morning when I was pulling cards. I put the card back in the deck now. But I got a card about seeing through the mists, and it was talking about Tirnanog and the Tuatha De Danann, and an isle off the coast of Ireland. But also when I hear about see through the mists, I think the mists of Avalon and being a priestess, of the inner mystery school teachings of Merlin and the Lady of the Lake and all them good folks over there. So again, I feel like you're a highly evolved starseed twin flame. So what do you need to know about your journey and these gates and all that? And it sounds like they've already kind of given you a hint, is that you've just got to go through each one. You've got to experience each gate, each portal. I just saw 144. Yeah, it's like the role of the twin flame. It's the role of the spiritual initiate. It's part of this twin flame journey that in order to come into reunion/union, every gate, every portal, every equinox, every eclipse is important and provides an important stepping stone, yes, big chills, and ladder to the ultimate goal, which is what? Is it union? I think it's union with oneself, which in turn brings about physical 3D union with your twin. The biggest tests, and initiations always seem to happen around these gates and these portals. And we've got some big ones coming up here right now, energetically through the light body. We are in preparation for the eclipses in late March and early April. The penumbral lunar at 5 degrees Libra on March 25th. And the total solar at 19 degrees Aries on April 8th. And there's a lot of ascension symptoms going on right now, and it's like you just got to go through it. The first card that came out is the Eight of Swords. No, you are not. You're not trapped. I think, let me just pull all these three out together that came out together. The Four of Wands and the Ten of Cups. Okay. I think at times you may feel like you're on this ride that you can't get off of. And I do find that to be true in a sense, because there have been times, well, number one, I didn't know what a twin flame journey was. And when I was on it and realized I was on it, the spirit kind of like gently led me to the fact that I was on it. I was like, I didn't ask to be on this thing. I don't really want to do this. It came as quite a surprise, actually, because I was not trying to manifest anybody, really. And I got a series of harsh realities through my guides during some of these types of transits we're talking about, and through the, Venus retrogrades and all that, that something bigger was waiting. Hence, the card that came out in the collective reading about you're ready for more. And even once I realized it was on the twin flame journey, and I had to work through a bunch of like weird past life stuff, clearing blood packs and stuff to false twins, and I still was like, okay, whatever, I'll surrender to this, whoever this is that's supposed to be coming, but I really don't care if it's my twin flame. Like, I really just was not that bought into the fact that I needed to be with that person. I really was just surrendering to, like, I just want somebody who's aligned to me, who's my person. That's all I asked for. I was like, I just want my person. If the moniker of twin flame, and until I understood the energetics and the energy signature of why the twin flame is really like the ultimate person that you would want to be with if they're both of you are totally aligned, then I kind of bought into the journey a little bit more. I'm like, yeah, I would really want that. And we did a whole video about that in the Twin Flame 2.0 series. There's a playlist for it on Spotify and on YouTube on this Loveland Tarot channel about why there's a channeling I did in one of the very first episodes about what is a twin flame or something, about why this union is so important, why you feel it so deeply. And really, just to break it down into 3D concepts, it's like, it's no different than, identical twins, like siblings. The telepathy, the only other difference really is like there's a romance involved. And to me, still the romance is like the 3D perk of getting to be with this person. I personally don't think the romance, the romance is the reward, but it's not Spirit's underlying purpose behind you coming. Spirit's got like a higher agenda. Spirit's like, yeah, the romance and the 3D stuff, that's your reward for the spiritual mission that you two are going to have together. Spirit is more about they're giving me chills. Spirit is more about the quote unquote spiritual business of the twin flame union. Think of it like, the corporation in the sky that is Source, driving all this stuff that's going on to help the planet ascend. And their ultimate goal is, for you to heal and come into union, but it's not necessarily, about your romance. It's about the business that you guys have to do together energetically here on the planet. So it sounds like that's kind of what's coming in for you. And I think what we'll do in your deep dive is if you want to do the extended, we'll dive more into what is your mission together and how are you going to get there? What is your mission together and how are you going to get there? So we'll do that as the extended reading. We'll pull out some more cards, but I want to expand a little bit more on this. So these three, you're on this ride and I don't think you're really going to get off unless you really did a big backtrack. I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to use her name. If you really did a huge backtrack, why would you want to do that though? I think at this point, the way I feel about your group is your integrity level is so high, meaning you've passed so many initiations, so many tests, Spirit's allowing you to have more inner knowledge, inner sanctum knowledge, which is what we do in the inner sanctum. Well, we're going to be doing that. We just started the group, but whether there's one person in there or 20 people in there, I've got a 20 people max, we're doing it. Whether there's me and the one other person that's in there or me and 5 people or me and 20 people, every month we're still doing something based on the energy of who's in that group. So I have not done our live yet this month. I'm getting ready to schedule that. So if that interests you, pop in there and join up with us. Otherwise, the one person that's in there has me all to themselves for that's a lot, right? They give me all to themselves for all that time. Anyway, whatever. It's not me. It's the guides and the knowledge and the stuff. But anyway, ultimately, I think that's what the Four of Wands is talking about and the Ten of Cups. I mean, your reward is that the Four of Wands, the celebration, the union, the 3D hand fasting or marriage or whatever it is you want to call it, or whatever it is you want to do with all that. And the Ten of Cups, the lifestyle and the family and the, nice house and the travel to your service, all that is the perks and the spiritual business of it. So you kind of are, in a sense, like on this roller coaster ride, because this is something you signed up for before you came into this lifetime. And unless you really, I just don't think you can eat back. There's just, energetically, I just don't think there's a way you can backtrack enough at this point to be able to just totally drop it and go back to the way things were before. So you might as well just take that snow day attitude, enjoy the journey as it comes, and in the extended, I will see if there's anything more they want to say about energy gates and timing, but we are going to focus on the spiritual business of your union. So I hope to see you there, and if I don't, that's fine. No worries, we might see you again next time. We will see you again either in the dailies or in the cards, or maybe you'll grab an ebook, or maybe we'll see you in the inner sanctum. But until then, until we see you again, take care. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. We've added Valentina and Bob to the tarot table in the first pile. So these friends are on the daily table that I would do for the daily shorts. But Valentina, I like her name. I like calling her that. She does look like Valentine. But Bob was gifted to me by my son. He collects vintage toys, G.I. Joes and all sorts, Cabbage Patch, Doctor Who. And he came up one day and said, "Oh, you can have this little guy." I was like, "Yay, Valentina has her person now." But I don't have a good name for him, so I don't know, Bob. I just said Bob. Valentina seems like she should have somebody named like, Claudius or some like, really, I don't know, Alexander. But it was really a good name for Bob. If anybody has a good suggestion for that. Okay, so you chose the Lush, and I have the blessing of having a wireless mic. I just can walk around in my studio and do other stuff while I'm talking to you. And I'm really hoping, we're under a blizzard warning right now, but I hope the sun does come out. Come on, it's right there. It's shining right. It's shining on us for our reading. We're taking these readings very relaxed, very nonchalant. We're going to get some tarot and some oracle cards, and you chose this little beach rock. I don't know, he kind of, like I said, looks like a little shark or something. It's like a little it has like a little, gosh darn it, it's like a little snarky smile. Oh my gosh, get it out. And then we're going to be using your main deck as the Lemurian Star Child. And Persona had some oracle cards. So we used, we're using Pleiadian Power. This is my deck. I do design and create these decks too, so those are available on the Game Crafter. Links to everything I talk about. I'm an author. I write ebooks and books. That's all the links to everything I talk about are in the show notes. And then this is my deck, Loveland Oracle. This is the autumn pack, and this is a spring pack. I mix them together. Just bringing in an oracle from there. They want me to use my deck Twin Hearts. This is my deck Twin Hearts. What else is pile number 2 need to know about their situation, their union, their person, their reunion? And then we're going to use this one deck, the Through the Eyes of the Soul by Cheryl Yombrook Rose. I love the back of this deck. Smaradurke. Let's get a card for pile number 2. Most need to know. Okay, and then we'll pull out some of the Lemurian cards in a moment. Let me just get these out and see what little story I need to tell you. Pink Flower Fairy with light language, Hashane, receive. So maybe a lot of light language coming out during this. Let's see what else we've got. Oh. Best friends forever. Finish the story. This is my card, the sleepover. It was the Friday before Halloween, and Justine had invited all her favorite friends to sleep over. They would play games and eat candy and talk about boys, and then it happened. The Twin Hearts card is, oh, lay down and hold me for a while. And show that. And the one card from the Through the Eyes of the Soul is Be Curious, Look Deeper. Card number 51. Let's read from, I like reading from the book because this deck, is about sacred sites. Yes. So seeing this is just, I don't know what this is actually. Is it a tree? But when I look really closely, there is like a face. Many faces I see here. So you may see a face of someone. It may be your twin. It may be your guide. I'm seeing more than one face. Let's read from the book. Card number 51. See what... Oh, no wonder I love this card. Okay, whoops, sorry. I'm kicking that a little bit. So this is a Welsh fairy gland. Look beyond the natural world for a more enhanced view of things. See beyond the obvious. Yes. In the very north of Wales, near the town of, I can't even say it right, Betswycoed, is a beautiful enchanted fairy gland. It is reputedly the home of the Tylwyth Teg fairies. They are said to be somewhat shy of humans, very playful, 6 feet tall and dressed in green. They have a deep shadowy beauty that strikes awe into the eyes of the beholder. The glen features stark white quartz traced with green ivy and the scent of sweet damp moss along the flowing water. I'll take all of that. The path leading to it is lined with enchanted farm animals and birds who stare silently as you pass by. It looks like almost between Ecoed. Tylwyth Teg fairies. Ooh, so many faces in there. Look beyond the obvious. Yeah. You're going to get an activation in this reading. That's what this is about. So it's going to come through light language. It's going to allow you to open your third eye a little bit more, decalcify, that's really a thing, kind of an energetic decalcification of your pineal gland, and opening you up to the magic and the mysticism of your journey, pulling you out of the 3D about this whole thing and giving you a look into the magic, the mysticism, the sacredness, the spookiness, like the woo-woo. There it is, like this goes. It's going to give you more of the woo-woo on your journey. All right, let's get some cards from, this deck is a big deck full of activations. So is this deck. So is just this card because there's light language built into it. So this is big on activations, the fairy activations from this place that I can't even really, Tylwyth Teg fairies. I'll get it right. This very green gemmy stone. Let's see what Lemurian Star Child cards want to come out for you. One. Oh, start right there. Hold on. Let's see. Lay down and hold me for a while. I might have to go back to that one. The Fire of Transformation. So this is... Oh, yeah. Okay. And this is like the phoenix rising and that moon in the background. So this reading is an energy upgrade to, like I said, to help you see the higher side of what this journey is all about. It's not just, oh, they're saying like, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. It's like, oh God. The message, yeah, the messages from your person, the multidimensionality of your union. You need some time. This hence the lay down and hold me for a while. And you need this time with your person energetically to really upgrade your senses to understanding. It's about the emotionality. Was that traffic thunder? Simple Jack can't cry. Oh, I love that movie. You need to understand the woo-woo of your journey. And it's not just about romance. And I think that's where, it's not that you get caught up there. It's kind of like that's like the first timeline, I guess, sort of the lack of a better word. First energy stream that happens once you realize you're on a twin flame journey is it becomes about this great romance, right? You're like, oh, the romance. And you feel all the vibes between you and this person. And it may be somebody you haven't met yet in this lifetime, but you just feel this energy that's around you, or you may have had like a reading from a reader or something like a shaman or somebody like, personally told you and confirmed for you, like, yeah, there's this other energy in your field, this person who's kind of in the wings, and you're like, oh, wow, I feel this person. And you got all this confirmations, or this is a person you've already met, but you're just maybe in separation from this person, and you're like longing, you're in the longing stage of this, like, oh, I want this person so bad, like, oh, and I know exactly where this is coming from. And I'm not belittling that emotion at all. It's a very deep soul wound of separation that happens when the twins are separated for the first time this is a little bit of a mystery school teaching too. This is giving you a glimpse into the inner mysteries of this union. When the twins are first separated at first separation. So I've got a Twin Flames 2.0 series here on Loveland Tarot, and it's on the podcast, and there's a playlist on YouTube and on Spotify, but that kind of talks about what this whole twin flame thing looks like from an energy perspective. Two beings come out of source. I won't get it exactly the same way I said it before, but it's like you both kind of come out of source. You both are birthed from source creator as two. They're saying, for lack of a better word, like two eggs, if you want to, two energy eggs. And then you separate and you become, the divine masculine, divine feminine, whichever one you become two souls. That is like so many chills. That separation is like the pain of the first separation, because it felt so good to be like connected with this other little energy egg of love. And I don't know, like, in the 3D world of time, like how long were you connected and when did you separate? I think it's just like quickly, but the little love burst that happens between the two of you, and there's this kind of like somewhere along the line, there's like this little umbilical cord of energy that connects you both. And then it gets broken and you like separate. Well, it doesn't never gets broken. I don't want to say it's not broken, but it's there. And then you separate. And in the heart space, in the energy body, it creates this like, what you feel in the 3D is like this almost like physical pain of being without this person. And you need to, I don't know if they're saying I'm going on a tangent. You need to understand, or like, they're like, get back to the cards. You need to understand the woo-woo of this journey. So that's a little bit of it right there, is the magic of it, what it is, what it's meant to be, and how you can get beyond that pain of separation. First of all, you can ask your guides to take that pain away, because it can be very deep. And so I think at one point I was like, I'm tired of feeling this way. This sucks. I don't feel this way every time I think about my person. Can take that away from me, whatever that is. And that was cleared, so that now I don't feel that like, I don't even know, like the cosmos is turning in on itself or something. And now I can enjoy more all the signs, serendipity, synchronicity, the telepathy that happens between you and your person. That's really, Spirit wants you to they want you to enjoy the journey. They want you to get, it's not just a 3D romance. It's like the romance is like the 3D perk of being in a twin flame union. But there's this spiritual, for lack of a better word, we put air quotes around it all the time, but spiritual business of the twin flame union. Like there's a higher agenda to the two of you coming into reunion and union with each other. And until you do, because you may not be union, like I said in pile 1, to me is not a 3D marriage. Or hand fasting or something like that. I mean, it could be a part of it, but from the upper worlds, union to them is your soul contract, your dual soul mission begins when you make a conscious commitment to each other to come together and unite in frequency and unite in. I kind of always say that I just want to build. I don't even really care about I don't really care about all the other stuff. I mean, I do in a way, but I want to just build with my person. That's what I'm going to do. I want my person and I want to build with them, meaning, I've got all these dreams and wishes and blah, blah, blah. And they probably have all these dreams and wishes and so forth and blah, blah, blah. And some of those things aren't happening for you yet because you're meant to build them with your person. Maybe they have contacts, whatever. It's like spirit lines everything up to come together when it needs to come together. And the romance is just the physical body, reacts to the love, all that. But that's not the main purpose of this whole thing. Really, the fun, because the romance and the, the orgasm and the physical body sensations, those are very short-lived. And it's more, I like to call it more like the tantra of your union, like the flirting that's done through the 5D when through telepathy, or when there's a sign that sends your way that can't be from any other energy being but your person. These signs that are kind of like the little inside signs just between the two of you. And yeah, your guides may know, but your guides are giving you they're giving you other information. They're not sending you so much the signs. I think the signs they're saying are coming from your person. You may think oh, an angel sent me 222, but it's which is my activation sequence code for me and my person is 222. Yours may be a whole other, because I've talked to twins and they're like, no, mine isn't 2. It's some other number. So you have a number sequence. So they're saying that it's not really your guides sending you the number sequence. It's every time your person either thinks about you or energetically connects with you somehow, you start seeing those signs. So if your code is, let's use mine as an example, if it's 222 and you start seeing 222, 222, 222 all over the place, it's because your person is energetically connecting with you consciously and subconsciously. And these signs and signals get sent from their energy field to yours, like a kind of telepathy, a different kind. Because we think of, I think sometimes I get caught up in, maybe you do too, that when we hear the word telepathy, it would be I send this message that's I'll use Bob and Valentina. Valentina's in her mind, hey, Bob. And then Bob is going to hear, in the 3D world, Bob's going to hear in his mind, hey, Bob. And then he's going to be in his mind, hey, Valentina. And she's going to hear, hey, Valentina. And they're it's not really like that. It's not so much like a physical 3D conversation in the mind. They're saying it can be, but that kind of happens more later on. And I write about that a lot, especially between Dakar and Abigail in my Bringers the Light series. They're my twin flames in the Rockaway Point series of the Bringers of the Light books, but they have actual conversations in their mind, hey, I'm ready to go, okay, and they do a lot. But they're saying that will come later. This telepathy that your guides are talking about more is more like, you know, the number sequences, that song that always comes on, and then you get this little vision of your person. And you may have met them and you may have not, but you still get a vision of someone, and you get that same vision every time, like, oh, this person's vision showing up again. They're saying, don't doubt all that. That is not too woo-woo. That is, believe in what's happening there. Just like, just like believe in the magic of your journey. So let me see. I want a couple more cards. I want to see. Okay, I've got 3 more cards, and then we're going to dive into, in the extended, I think what we're going to do for y'all is also like, how can you take advantage of these gates dates that we've given you? You got know yourself. To me, this is like Dakini energy, like passion, the Kundalini rising. You got peace beyond survival, the lion and the lamb. It's a very spiritual card. And you got essences and energies with, I think that's a whale, but it kind of almost looks like this little stone in a way. Oh yeah, there, I lost him for a minute. There's so many signs. Yeah. It's more than just a 3D romance. That's all they keep saying. There's this spiritual side of it, this peace beyond survival, this lion and the lamb card could bring up some religious connotations. Well, I don't want to say religious. Religious connotations, and yeah, I guess I'll go there. One of the faces I saw here was Yeshua. And so it could bring up some twin flame, either past lives. This channeling that we're doing for you in this reading could bring up some of your twin flame past lives. It could also be that Yeshua and Mary Magdalene are very strong guides for you at this time, and you might be guided to dive deeper into the spiritual business of their union and what it ultimately meant for the world. Beyond, like, don't look at the religious text behind it. Like, do a journey or a meditation or connect with the two of them. Or what is that book series they're telling me about? I can't look it up right now. Is it Grandmother Anna or something like that? I have this book somewhere. Let me just look since we're here. Then I'm going to go get my dog her lunch. And get me my lunch. Is it called Grandmother Anna? I have this book, I think, on Kindle. Anna, Grandmother of Jesus. Yes. Anna, Grandmother of Jesus. That is a book. A message of wisdom and love. I don't think I've ever completed reading this book either. Overview. Okay, so that may be some. Anna is the mother of the Virgin Mary and the grandmother of Jesus. Her teachings and service birthed the spiritual lineage that changed the world. Yeah, that's what they're bringing up. So that made me, I need to go back and look at that too. But anyway, it's time to start meditating on and being open to. I think you have to be open to receive, with that light language card, the inner mystery school teachings of what this union is, beyond the fact that it's like this really intense romance. So that's the messages we're getting for you. And in the extended, we're going to dive more into how you can take advantage of these energy gates, the opportunity gates, to go deeper into your the energy of your union. So I hope I will see you again soon. I may see you elsewhere on the dailies, on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. I may see you in the Inner Sanctum on Patreon, and that is where the extended will be. I'll provide a link to that. It will be on my Patreon. You can just purchase the individual reading, or you might want to join us in the Inner Sanctum. It's a small group of 20 soul sisters and or brothers. I don't know who's in. I've got one person in there with me now, and whether there's one person in there or 20 people in there, we do monthly live Q&As. We have a teaching. They get automatic free access to any of these extended readings. So if that calls to you, you can take a look at that as well. And I hope to see you again soon somewhere in the energy world or in this 3D world. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Welcome, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Mexican fire opal. The little, where'd that window go? These little windows. Diamond. And the Modern Love Tarot. Yes. First, we're going to get some oracles to go along with your message. So I'm going to draw from my deck Twin Hearts. Let's see. I'm going to get one from my deck. This is my Loveland series. This is the Loveland Autumn Pack and the Loveland Spring Pack mixed together. If you're interested in any of these, links to everything I talk about are always in the show notes. This is about how you can take advantage of these opportunity gates. What you can do in between gates. Any other additional messages you might need to be aware of? You could be coming from other piles. I just got 3. This is my deck, Pleiadian Power. And I want one from this Through the Eyes of the Soul deck. This pile number 3, you need to know about the spiritual business, the spiritual business of your union, any other messages. What's going on right now with your connection? Let's start over here. I wish I could come see you. That airplane wing. Angels of creation, believed to receive, the angel said as she projected the angles and energies that would create the human's wish. This is my geometric angels, building angels. So this is like the Elohim, the creation going on behind the scenes to help bring you both together. And then you got 3 from Pleiadian Power. You got lovingly guided. You are receiving special assistance from passed on loved ones. This is my maternal grandmother. I never knew. Never knew her. Restore. Things are speeding up now. The Chariot. Kind of my little version of the Chariot. And this card, this came up earlier in the daily reading. Look through the mist and find the mysteries. This is, I'll read it. Since I talked about it in one of the other piles. This deck is about sacred sites and the divine beings that are associated with some of these sacred sites. So this is 16. Look through the mist and find the mystery. Eru's eyes. Don't cloud your judgment with the doubt. Believe. The secret of divine creation is within you. The goddess is waiting to help you manifest your dreams. The Skellig Islands are off the southwest coast of Ireland. Also, into the west was Tirnanog, the enchanted land of the Tuatha De Danann. Oh, how bizarre. Sorry, it was like a personal message because my grandmother, after line is here, is a direct descendant of the Danann. This was a place of eternal youth and magic recorded in song, verse, and prose in the Irish mystery tradition. In the diffuse light of the other world, the goddess Eru, for whom Ireland is named, peers out of the mist over little Skellig Island. The thousands of gannets that nest there swirl up into the sky, creating an ethereal halo above her head. In the 6th century, monks settled on Skellig Michael, 8 miles from shore. This was one of the storehouses of literature, music, and history that is said to have saved European culture from extinction in the Dark Ages. In the foreground, the enigmatic dolphin named Fungi, a wild resident of the Dingle Peninsula, frolics in the waves. Okay. When I first saw this card too, I kind of thought, before I read the book, I kind of thought about the Mists of Avalon. It's also another place of kind of inner mystery school teachings. What seems to be the overarching kind of concept of this whole entire reading is giving you a little bit of a deeper dive into the inner mysteries and the inner mystery school teachings of your union. But I feel like with these cards, the plane, the chariot, restore, and angels of creation, that you might be, excuse me, yeah, with all this coughing too, you might be the pile that's getting closest to coming into reunion or out of separation with your person. So let's get some tarot cards to see if there's anything else. What does pile 3 most need to be aware of in this now? The spiritual business. The Ace of Swords, but that looks like a portal door of books. Oh, this is my Akashic Records card, I think. Yes, they're saying yes. And the World. Yes, so this is your union. It's basically your reunion / union. Your highest timeline that you would come together is through this portal. And the World is this closing out of energies that has to take place before this portal door becomes available to you to step through. We talked about relational realities and timelines. We talked about the 3 gates. It looks like March. They're saying say March. It looks like March out of all of the gates for this particular quarter has the highest probability for your reunion or the end of separation between you and your twin. And until then, you're being guided to continue to tap into the magic of your journey. Continue to see it for the underlying higher vibe purpose that it has, that it's not just this romance, it's not just a 3D romance, that it's so much more than that. And you're being asked to, rest your energy up, and really your energy in a sense too is being restored through these gates and portals that happen between now and, what are we talking about in March? The gate, they're saying any time in March, but the gate is the most significant, which was what? The 1st through the 13th. And then we kind of go into a little bit of another gate into the lunar eclipse at 5 degrees Libra. Yeah, and this Libra one is especially potent because obviously Libra is about relationships, and it's 5 degrees, which is the second of the Libra eclipses, I believe. The first one was at 0 or 1 degree back in the fall of 2023. So that seems very succinct. Is there anything else? The pile number 3, that just seems very, like a very succinct message. Is there anything else? Okay, so they're saying get the Lemurian deck. Anything else pile number 3 needs to know? This is we're going to go into the Lemurian Star Child. Let's get some additional messages. I don't think, let me just see what this says here. There's 4 cards. Okay, so the first one is rising to Pleiadian frequencies. So that's what's happening between now and this March time frame, is more, like there haven't been already, right? More, and I think that that's a valid statement, is you may feel like, my God, how many more gates and initiations and trials and tests? And it's not the trials and tests and initiations at this point. They're saying it's the consciousness upgrades that it takes to step through this portal door that opens up with this lunar eclipse in Libra, and then the subsequent like massive total solar eclipse on April the 8th, that your light body is being prepped for this. And we've said this before in many readings, that it's not just that you and your twin have to be ready in terms of your energy and becoming aligned and all that. It's like the quasar that you are when you two souls unite. And I'm not just talking about uniting in some sort of, orgasmic activity. I'm talking about uniting once you two step through this portal into this life stream, this higher vibe Pleiadian frequencies, what I call the new Lemurian timelines. Once you step into those portals, just your energy signature alone vibrates at such a high level that it becomes like, they're saying like quasar powered, the magnification of it. And so just like your light body has to be able to handle those frequencies, so too do the grids of the planet and the surrounding energy fields around you and your person. So it's like you have to upgrade, your light body has to upgrade, but the planet also has to be in an upgraded state to be able to handle this higher vibe quasar energy, and not like, for lack of a better word, not like fry out the grids, so to speak. Because the grids also have to, I'm talking about the planetary grids, the crystalline grid system, also have to stay in a state of equilibrium. We can't have like quasar energy like zapping through the grids and like throwing it off balance. It has to be very balanced. So I think at this point, the mystery school teaching for you is, it's not like they love to tell me, it's not just about you and your person. The planet has to be ready, and then your soul mission, your dual soul mission, starts, and just starts once you step through that portal. Okay, so we have that, and then we have, awakening was the next card. Yes, awakening, the grids, that's just like further confirmation. Whale, why is that? Whale teaching is the next card. And Ellen of the Ways. Yeah, you have a very succinct, concise message. Like, I really don't feel like there's a need for an extended for pile number 3. The whale song is about the song lines. Again, it's like we can't throw everybody else off balance with some of these high vibe unions. The whales, the song lines of the planet, all have to stay in a state of equilibrium and balance. You have to be very balanced. So it's like your guides are saying it is coming, that they know that you know that They know that you've been hearing that for quite some time now, and they appreciate your patience. But it's like they tell me a lot of times, like, we'll sell no wine before it's time. And you're just asked to continue to believe in the magic of your journey, continue to connect in. I think a lot of you do what I call bringers to the light work. You work with sacred sites. I believe in the background here is Glastonbury Tor. That is a huge one for me. That is a place of power, as is the Hawaiian Islands. And Lahaina and Maui, and so much of Hawaii is where we draw power, and where I use the whale song lines and the grid system to infuse the planet with Eulemurian light codes. So I think this is just confirmation for you, like you understand you're here for a deeper purpose than just a 3D romance. You're here to envelop the planet in higher frequency light and love, to assist in the awakening of the planet, and to help raise the vibration of the entire grid system through being that little like acupuncture pin of light that you are. When you ground into, even when you ground into your physical location, but you also understand that you work multidimensionally, and you can place parts of yourself in other locations around the planet and put like an aspect of your soul, so to speak, at these different locations to help raise the vibration. And you create some sort of like a sacred geometry with the different soul aspects of yourself that you've got kind of sitting around in these different locations, helping to raise the vibration of the planet. The angles and the energy of like the Elohim with that one card we got with the angels of creation. So I would say out of all three piles, you're the pile that's the farthest along in getting, in coming into, coming out of separation and coming into reunion. And once you do, I think you'll feel like things will start to finally be like rolling again. You may have felt like you've been in a stasis or like a hermit mode for quite some time. And you may, when you saw the restore card, be like, more restoring. I've been restoring myself for what seems like, who knows, months, years, who knows how long. It's like, I'm ready to come. You're ready. I'm ready. You're saying to yourself, like, I'm ready to come out of hermit mode and re-enter what would, I guess, maybe feel more of like a it's like 3D, I don't want to say 3D society, because if it was me, I'd be like, I don't really know if I feel comfortable like just hanging out. It's like, it's more like bringing your soul family in. It's not really hanging out in 3D society. I think it's more about getting some of the 3D rewards that come from a job well done in terms of the journey that you've been on. And the 3D rewards are the, maybe your friend group comes back, or you start building a community and some of your soul family comes back in, and, maybe you don't have like a lot of like biological children, but you have like other kids who are like your soul family kids, like a Brady Bunch kind of a thing. An adopted kids, or just like big kids. I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I mean. Like your family is going to be like this, like a patchwork quilt of different soul family members who you haven't maybe seen in some time. So I would just say at this point, you're so close. Enjoy the now moments. Enjoy the magic of the journey. Look back, because you want to be able to look back on your journey with yeah, that was pretty magical. I tried to take I always say that about like Samhain season. I try to squeeze every juicy drop out of autumn and Samhain season that I possibly can. It's kind of like you're being encouraged to do that, like squeeze every juicy drop out of your situation now, especially like enjoying your alone, coming to enjoy your alone time, because when things start speeding up and you've got, soul family members and people coming in and out, and you've got your own soul mission, and then you've got a dual soul mission, then you've got your person and the things that you're going to be doing. It's going to be so much more busier, and you are going to look back, and you're probably going to look back at yourself, maybe see pictures of yourself or whatever, back when you were on this, by yourself, working your way towards this, or like not slogging towards your union, that you are going to be like, man, I kind of like, in a sense, sometimes wish I could just go back to that time where it was kind of solitary and not sedentary. What's the other word? Like, it was very, the serenity and the peace of always having that alone time. Take advantage of that and relish that and enjoy that as best you can, because when things pick up, I think it's going to flip to the other way around, where you're going to be like in someone's company more often than not, as your soul family or your twin or your community members, and then you're going to be like, man, I long for those days where it just was just like me, doing whatever it was I did and doing all these things for myself. Like, I need more days like that, as opposed to maybe like now, where you're like, oh, so many days of solitariness. And I, wish I had more people around. And it's like, oh, they always say, be careful what you wish for. This is all in a good way, though, right? It's all going to be in a good way. But I think the script is going to flip, and you're going to be like always around more people, and you're going to be like longing for your vacation time or your alone time, because you won't have it quite as often as you used to. So enjoy the magic of the journey. Enjoy the last little bits of these gates and timeline shifts and light body upgrades that have to happen. And I guess we're not doing extended for pile 3. So the only extended we have is for pile 1 and pile 2. So I will then most likely, my friends, see you again, hopefully in another reading or somewhere around the interwebs, in the books, in my books or my cards, or on the dailies. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me here. And we will see you all again soon. Take care.